violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, cyberspace? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
A plea tonight to end the gun violence plaguing Metro Atlanta. Local leaders and community organizers held a service to memorialize the victims of gun violence in Atlanta and around the state. Among the speakers, the father of Ahmaud Arbery and the mother of Cameron Jackson. Fox 5's Christopher King was there as...
And, you know, it's honorable, I guess, that the father of Ahmaud Arbery is coming out to speak against gun violence. But at the end of the day, his son was kind of involved in the fueling of that problem. You know, these candlelight vigils, all in all, I think are just ineffective, because unless you're getting the super gremlins to pull up to these things and denounce the violence, then it's never going to end.
As an end to the violence was called.
They held that memorial service right here at the First Iconium Baptist Church. Activists, religious leaders, even the parents of young people killed at the end of a gun called for an end to violence.
We want to make sure that as we release these balloons, that we remember them.
They released balloons into the sky.
Zion, Charles, 12.
And read the names of people killed in gunfire. One of those names,
Cameron Jackson, 15.
And yeah, that's crazy. We did cover the Cameron Jackson story as well. It is officially 2023, guys, and these super gremlins have not slowed down at all. As a matter of fact, it's only gotten heightened. So we're really getting into some scary territory here.
Cameron Jackson, just 15 years old.
I was looking at the name Cameron on the paper, and it's just like a reality. Like, yeah, he's not here.
Cameron was shot and killed last month near Atlantic Station. He and 12-year-old Zion Charles were gunned down during a fight between a group of teenagers on the 17th Street Bridge.
It's like a shocker. Like, it kind of brings me back into reality.
Tiffany Smith is Cameron's mom.
It's heartbreaking. Yep, it's heartbreaking.
Smith and the father of Ahmaud Arbery, part of a memorial service here at First Iconium Baptist Church. They called for an end to violence, killing people around Metro Atlanta and around Georgia.
That we want to just decrease the amount of people who are impacted by gun violence.
Sean Smith is with the community group Black Push Incorporated.
We're trying to...
And I don't know how you're going to be able to do that when, you know, they're letting people out on their own recognizance after committing violent crimes. It's just not going to happen.
Send a message that this is a community issue and community has to be more involved.
Smith Group and the church are opening a community center to show young people there are options.
We hope to give them something different to think about, to give them opportunities to do art programs. We hope to give them opportunities to deal with mental health, conflict resolution.
Art programs. I don't think that's going to calm these super gremlins on demon time down at all.
Both parents had to spend Christmas and they have to go into the new year without their children, and both parents say no parent should ever have to endure that. In Southeast Atlanta, Christopher King, Fox 5 News.
2011 Alive, our first look at a mother of two killed in a murder-suicide on Christmas Eve.
She was running from the room and they heard gunshots.
Hazel Reese was found shot inside an elevator at the Microtel Inn in Brookhaven. A father...
Wow. I mean, a lot of people are living out of hotels and motels, and this woman obviously, you know, was trying to provide for her kids and gets deleted in a deletion and self-deletion homicide. It's crazy.
Mother of her child found just feet away with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And tonight, Reese's aunt and best friend are now remembering her and hoping her story will help others before it's too late. 11.
What is going on with these baby daddies? I mean, these baby daddies are going crazy right now. So you mean to tell me that the father of her children spazzed out, crashed out?
Hazel Reese was found shot inside an elevator at the Microtel Inn in Brookhaven. A father of her child found just feet away with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And tonight, Reese's aunt and best friend are now remembering her and hoping her story will help others before it's too late. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn's outside that hotel right now. So, Cody, any idea of what led up to this tragedy?
Well, the only people who really know that answer are no longer here.
Wow.
Hazel Reese shared a 10-year-old son with the man accused of killing her. She also leaves behind a 16-year-old son. Her aunt and best friend tell me they believe mental health and abuse she hid from them led to her death.
Yeah, and that makes sense. There's only two ways that these abusive relationships end: if someone is ended or deleted, or if somebody leaves the situation. And it looks like she had multiple baby daddies, and what can you say, man? It's just a bad situation, and those kids are going to be forever scarred. Feel bad for them.
Infectious, contagious, always happy, the life of the party. She was so open. She was so honest. So sometimes it was like, wait.
Hazel Reese's best friend, Natasha Benz, remembers the moment the two met.
Like, we became friends that Wednesday. We were having a sleepover that Saturday.
A young woman who her Aunt Joette Thomas says always wanted to see the good in people.
She couldn't imagine that anybody would hurt her.
But somebody did. A man Reese's family says she's known for 15 years. The father of her 10-year-old child.
Her 10-year-old, he no longer has his mom or his dad.
It was inside this hotel, the Microtel Inn in Brookhaven, just after 9 a.m. on Christmas Eve when gunshots rang out.
They heard several shots, and she was just screaming out twice, "Please don't kill me, please don't kill me."
Yeah, that's wild, bro. That is wild, man. This dude is insane. A lot of these women, I don't know how they end up meeting these guys, but these dudes are willing to crash out. These are they getting these guys out of the deep barrels of the Pookie and Ray Ray stash, because I just don't get it, how you're getting involved with these guys who are so volatile.
Reese couldn't escape. She died just hours before her 37th birthday, a day her family says she looked forward to every year.
She started planning in January for that December. That's how she was. She loved her birthday.
While we will never know why this happened, Reese's family and friends believe her willingness to forgive and see the good in people cost this daughter, mother, and best friend her life.
She would forgive anything.
Can nobody do no wrong. Even if she felt like she might have hurt you in any way, she's quick.
And I think that a lot of these women have to end up dealing with these guys, because there's not many guys who are gonna deal with a woman who has another kid with somebody else and, you know, is that size, okay? So they're limited to the worst of the worst, and it just so happens that these guys are just willing to crash out over nothing. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Quick to apologize. She was just that person.
You think that forgiveness led to maybe what happened to her in that hotel room?
It definitely played a factor in the abuse that she went through.
Her aunt and best friend also wanted to make a point. If you are in a bad place, reach out for help. If you can walk away, get away. They say, looking back now at signs, they knew something was wrong. They just wish that Hazel would have reached out to them and asked for help. If you are in a situation like that, we have more information on how to reach out to get help, including the National Hotline for Domestic Abuse at 11alive.com.
Important information and excellent reporting. Thank you so much, Cody.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Quadarius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Quadarius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all killing me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take over
What
your
more
store.
do you want from me?
All new at 6 o'clock, Clayton County Police confirm an officer involved in the death of a teenager is no longer with the department. 19-year-old Eric Holmes was killed in Morrow on November 21st when he was shot by an officer. The GBI says the Clayton County Police were investigating a stolen vehicle parked at a business, and the officer was approached by Holmes. They reportedly started talking, then Holmes walked away, entered the car, and started the engine. The GBI says the officer told him to stop, and then shots were fired several shots.
Wow. So just like that. So they had a conversation. Bruh hopped in the whip. He identified the whip as stolen, and the cop aired it out. And now he's no longer with the force. I mean, it seems pretty cut and dry. I don't think that he should have just immediately aired out. But definitely held him up and stopped the car. But I don't know what happened. I don't see no footage. It's interesting, but they made the decision. They let him go. This might be a reason why you're hard pressed to get officers to come and work for the police force, because they're not really backed in these situations. I mean, you got a guy who is being investigated for stealing a car, and he gets pressed, and the officer might have aired out too soon, it seems like, since they let him go. But I don't know. Interesting. I'll definitely stay in touch with this story for sure.
As Holmes was driving away, and according to the officer's post file, he resigned December 19th in lieu of termination. But we have not been able to confirm why he was about to be terminated. So the GBI is still investigating that shooting, but to our knowledge, no officer had been charged in this case at this point.
Well, this just into our 11 Alive newsroom, a crazy story out of Decatur and a sad one. A homicide investigation underway. It happened at Tires Plus along DeKalb Industrial Way this morning.
No, not Tires Plus. And DeKalb is pretty much on fire. It's not looking good for DeKalb County. They are going through a lot of violence coming by way of the Super Gremlins. And it's not slowing down at all. This particular instance is very sad because it was completely a misunderstanding, and we're going to get into it.
Morning. DeKalb County Police tell us that a suspect, now ID'd as 30-year-old Quadarius McDowell, brought his car in for service. Well, then a Tires Plus employee identified as 24-year-old Daniel Gordon got into the car and started driving it in the parking lot.
Okay, so Quadarius, I guess they said, is the one who brought his vehicle in the car, and then Daniel hops in the car and starts driving it in the parking lot to test drive it to diagnose the issue. And Quadarius, he's so gun-ho that he jumps the gun and thinks that Daniel is robbing his whip and airs the whip out. Does that sound a little familiar? Almost sounds like the story we just covered with the officer. And I didn't want to pass judgment on that. It seems like nobody has filed any charges against these officers, but the officer who fired the shots is no longer with the force. So what does that mean? They still punished him for doing his job. Now, in this case, it's a misunderstanding, but Quadarius was gun-ho and he jumped the gun quick because he thought his vehicle was being stolen. And in the officer's story, you know, he identified the vehicle as a stolen vehicle, talked to the guy that he deleted, and then after that he ended up the guy hopped in the car and he aired it out, is what it seems like. So people make mistakes is what I'm saying, and in this case I think that Quadarius made a really big mistake, because it's like, bro, you drop your car off at the Tires Plus, of course they're gonna put an employee in it. You don't just pull the strap out and air it out. That's crazy.
Investigators say McDowell thought Gordon was trying to steal his car and opened fire, shooting and killing Gordon. Well, one person was able to record the moment McDowell was taken into custody by DeKalb County Police. You're looking at it right now. He is charged with murder and is locked up tonight at the DeKalb County Jail.
He is in mourning, and a man is in jail after a deadly auto repair shop shooting. Channel 2 was first on the scene at DeKalb Industrial Way outside Decatur. Police say a Tires Plus customer shot a worker and then ran. Channel 2's Veronica Griffin live there on the scene tonight. Veronica, police say the shooter thought the worker was a thief?
That's right. That's according to police. Now, police also told us that when the suspect took off on foot, he was picked up not too far from here.
So he aired the whip out and then just took off. Yeah, this dude he's a complete idiot, man. And I know it was a mistake, but to flee the scene and do all this extra stuff, I mean, you're doing the most, man. These dudes just don't be thinking. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Distraught employee standing where his co-worker was fatally shot Saturday afternoon, shot while on the job. A bystander who says he was friends with the victim talked to Channel 2 Action News off camera.
You can't even feel safe at work, for real. It's just, I mean, it's sad, man.
The friend shared this photo of the victim, 24-year-old Daniel Gordon. DeKalb County Police say Gordon was an employee of this Tire Plus and that he wasn't just on the job, he was gunned down while trying to do his job. Investigators say Gordon was attempting to test drive this car to check the condition of its brakes. This after the owner brought it in requesting just that. Investigators say the owner, 30-year-old Quadarius McDowell, apparently didn't realize the test drive had been assigned to Gordon. Thinking Gordon was a thief, McDowell opened fire. Shots from a handgun rang out multiple times.
And he rushed to a judgment, and it's gonna be, it's wild. He rushed to a judgment and he's gonna have to pay for that.
It sucks that somebody so ambitious can be caught in a situation that was just so random.
Gordon is described by his friend as a hard worker who was just trying to make his way through life. A life cut short on the very last day of the year.
It's sad that you can't even call this a wrong place at the wrong time type situation. Like, it's literally you at work.
Now back here live where flowers were left this evening. Now the friend also tells us that Gordon started working here this past summer and that he was excited about his job. Reporting live in DeKalb County, Veronica Griffin,
Another example of the worst of us taking out the best of us. It's crazy, man.
USB Tonight.
Still some questions to answer there. Very sad. Thank you, Veronica.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.